Kids Roo here in a top secret place somewhere in West Wales. And today we had the first overcast rainy day for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I managed to finish planting up the polytunnel. So now I can give you a full polytunnel tour. It's the 3rd of June. I got here on, I think, the 16th of April. And everything you see in this polytunnel that is an annual, other than the potatoes, I planted in that time. So I'll walk you through it and show you what we've got. So in here we've got some purpled ruffled basil and scarlet kale in the middle there. Got tomatoes along the edge. Actually, I lied. These chives were here when I moved in as well. And the nasturtiums are self-seeded from last year. More tomatoes. Down the middle we've got clumps of spinach. These are already harvestable, so they're delicious. This here is a trombone courgette. Hopefully, well, it's not really a courgette, but it's like a squashy thing. It's going to grow over one of these hoops. They make really ridiculously long squash, and they're delicious roasted. And I mean ridiculously long, like I've seen ones taller than I am. Yeah, we've got an Inca berry here, or a Chinese gooseberry, I think is another word for it, maybe. Oh no, Chinese gooseberry is a kiwi fruit. These are Chinese lanterns, rather. So inside of that, there's a berry forming. That's a perennial, so that was there when I moved in. Here we've got 4 rows of onions. So the onion will be growing under the soil. That's a dock leaf. That needs to come out, and I've got some problems with grass growing in here as well. But these are all onions. I grew them from sets rather than seed. There's a calendula and a marigold to act as pest control, companion planting. And that's a self-seeded tomato. These are purple sprouting broccoli, and we harvest the leaves from these throughout the year, and then next January they will have broccoli spears that you can eat. Lettuces in the middle. We're basically self-sufficient for all our salad greens already. Up here we have some sunflowers. I love to do flowers in my planting as well as edibles, and often edible flowers too. Down the middle we've got dill, and the reason I put dill in is because in the corners we've got cucumbers, and they're a lovely classic combination. There's lettuces on each side, and then these clumps are beetroot, and you can grow beetroot in just little clumps in little cells. All that will happen is that the ones in the middle will have weird little square edges where they spread out and grow all together. In this second row here, this is one of the ones that I've planted up today because it was cool enough. I've got some 2 broad beans at the end there. Tomatoes all across each edge. And then interspersed again with companion planting flowers. So on this side, there's a marigold. On that side over there, there's calendula. In the middle, I've got some sweet peas that I grow for fragrance and for the flowers. This is Mizuna or rocket. I can't remember which is which. I've planted both in this bed. I've got a pumpkin in the middle. I don't know how far that's going to spread. That could be a bit of a problem. And I've got some sweet corn either side. My first sowing of sweet corn went really badly. A lot of them rotted. I've just done another sowing, and they're coming up great. Again, more tomatoes, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put in the middle there. That's a beer slug trap, that cup you see. Lettuces again, and more beetroot. I have to rush through this because I don't have much memory on my phone, which means I can't go for a long time. I've done a sunflower by the back door, so that's going to grow up all the way there. This is a cherry tree. We've been having cherries already for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they are absolutely delicious. This is a goji berry or a wolfberry. They're very popular a few years ago as like this magic superfood. They're actually really easy to grow, and you can grow them in lots of different climates. I've seen videos of people on YouTube growing them outside in Canada, so get one if you can, if you've got space for it, because they do spread out quite a lot. And they're a little bit thorny, so you can use them as like deterrents, as like borders and thorny hedging, basically. So in here, this is another nightshade plot. I've got bell peppers around the edges. All of my bell peppers this year, the seed comes from a supermarket pepper. I got 88 seeds out of it, And so far I've got 36 plants, but I've got more that I need to prick out. And then in the middle, they're really, really tiny. I've got some aubergines on the go. It's a golden yellow courgette coming through. This is kale, so I'm doing winter planting in with my summer planting, and it'll take over at some point. Here in this bed, this is one of my favourite beds. Lots of mixed planting. There are a lot of tomatoes that have self-sown that I need to take out, but I'm not doing that right now. So here I've got 3 rows of radishes. Radishes are a great quick crop. They just come up super quick. Nasturtium at the back. All along each side you see these strings. I've got French beans that are going to climb up these strings. In the middle here again, more purple sprouting broccoli for winter. More lettuces. We've got so many lettuces. They're great. Here in between the tomatoes, it really needs weeding at the moment. I've got loads of basil, so I've got three lines of basil, 1, 2, 3. Up here, more beautiful, gorgeous lettuces. And again, beetroot. Behind me, these are potatoes. They were actually left over from last year's crop and they sprouted up again. And the person I'm living with, whose land it is, took them and spread them out a bit because he really loves homegrown potatoes. I don't. I think they're a bit of a waste of space and water because they're so cheap in the supermarket. But they are tasty and like it's part of self-sufficiency. So it's good to have them as emergency potatoes. I've got another trombone courgette here. So this is going to grow up. This we'll have one, and then the one on the other side is going to go whoop and around on that one. There's another golden courgette in there. Lots and lots of spinach. We've been harvesting this for weeks already. It's fantastic. And here my French beans are spiraling out of control, up and round. And there's a calendula in the corner there. Again, loads of self-sown tomatoes. So I do need to do some weeding. Yeah, and that's it for the main beds in this polytunnel. So you can see from the edges here, I'll just sprint over before I run out of memory. I've got more seedlings to go. So I've got Mizuna, scarlet kale, more tomatoes and sweet peas, more spinach, rocket. These are a little succulent from the house that dropped off when I was replanting it, and they're starting to come through. Some borage, it's a beautiful companion plant. Bees love it. More sunflowers, watercress. These are the peppers I'm talking about. I've got so many peppers. This is a flower that I bought a pack of seeds in Japan, and I've lost the pack, so I don't actually know what flower it is. I think it might be a type of aster. Yeah, more tomatoes, more sunflowers, more marigolds. You can never have too many marigolds. These are purple kohlrabi, so these will turn into this beautiful purple tennis ball thing. They look completely alien and they're really delicious in salads. And these are turnips, which I love. This tray sadly had broad beans in, but sadly a rat or a mouse or something got in and chewed them all. So they're not growing. I need to chuck that out. So that's it for this polytunnel. I apologise for the mess. There's lots of papers everywhere. Because I use them for mulching, and I might explain more about that in another video, and hopefully give you an update in a couple of weeks so you can see how it all grows and changes.